Hey guys, it's Drac, and this is the Busby Air Warriors Air Max XL Baron. Now, or I guess it's just the Baron, but it's an XL blaster, which is the equivalent of the Nerf Mega line. Now, the Busby blasters have been getting just way turbo infinite better recently to an insane extent. So the Boss is excellent, the Tyrant is excellent, and this is hopefully going to be no exception. So it's a two-shot pistol where you pull the slide all the way and then pull the trigger to launch a dart. Now, how it's shooting two darts one at a time without smart AR technology is beyond me. But it is, supposedly. We will find out in this review. There we go. I'm not sure if this is faster than using the Karambit, but it's a little bit cleaner. So, heavy prime, wow. Like, was not expecting that. Automatically retracts, which is quite nice. Handle is pathetically small. Like, this handle is the size of two of my fingers. Very uncomfortable, very much so on top of myself like this, and it would be very easy to fumble the blaster were it holstered. You've got your traditional, that's hilarious. There's so much air moving through this plunger that this actually bumps at the end there. That's wild, very cool, but traditional Busby style construction, other than the uncomfortable handle, the trigger pull is actually reasonably nice and reasonably sized. With no trigger guard, plenty of room to get in there. That said, the handle is so small I'm tempted to... This looks ridiculous, but this is actually the most comfortable way for someone with larger hands to wield this blaster. Is middle finger is the trigger, this finger is a guide, and then forward like so. But, oh, and you can prime it that way nicely as well. Traditional Busby kind of construction, you've got two-tone plastic here. They are separate pieces. There is no paintwork done to this blaster, and that's all to keep the price low. The Baron is very inexpensive. I want to say I paid about $5 for it, but let's get their darts out. I'm not sure how these compare to Megas in terms of their build quality, but luckily for you guys, I brought both. So, no muss, no fuss, no problems. We'll load these up first. Comparing the two, they're roughly identical in length, which is good, because again, Busby understands that when something has 90% of the market, it makes sense to be cross-compatible with them. Good job, Busby. Not that any other company would have been crazy enough to not do that. So, I don't like that these stick out immediately. I wish that they were completely shrouded. I think that that's much better for a sidearm. If you're going to holster it, this is kind of easy to bend or for someone to grab or what have you. Like, this is not necessarily the most efficient way to do it, but hopefully they fire well. Performance over everything, right? Not bad. Not bad at all, actually. Now here's the question. If there's... Oh, I guess that solves it. It's going to fire top to bottom. It's chambering these Mega Darts very nicely. Fires Mega Darts better than it fires Busby darts, frankly. Does it claim ranges anywhere on it? It does not, but it seems to be getting, if not Mega Performance, Elite Performance. Let's stand, give it the full flat range. Okay, so that wasn't a great shot. Perhaps if we arc it, it'll be a little bit better. I mean, it's better than a Centurion for sure. Those are solid 60-foot ranges with an angle. That's not bad for a blaster that's very small. Now, other than the construction, I think that it's very nice. This would be an awesome blaster. Flip upside down, carve off this tiny handle, and mount underneath a usable primary as like a reserve shot of sorts. Like this, especially since the workings here are pretty simple. You could probably hook them up to a keyring coming out the back. But that's my review of the Air Max Baron by Busby Toys, and frankly, the blaster is not bad. For $5, it's hard to beat something that's getting performance like that, and apparently has some sort of smart AR technology, although I'm sure it's not the exact patent. It's doing a fine job of emulating it. I couldn't tell that it wasn't working at all, so seems to be fine to me. On a side note, this is not a Counter-Strike knife. This is just a karambit. Like, Counter-Strike did not invent the karambit, and it's kind of annoying that you guys constantly post, like, if it's factory new or whatnot in the comment section. I had to look up how Counter-Strike interacts with this knife just to figure out what you guys were talking about. So, well done, YouTube land. You've educated me on a video game that I have never played. Thanks for watching, guys. I take it all back. The Baron has bamboozled me. On my way back into the workshop, I thought about it, and I knew that they couldn't just steal the Smart AR patent, so I tested it. If you put one dart in the top and fire, you'll notice that it isn't firing. That's because it seems like the barrels are automatically switching each time. So it seemed in that review like it was always doing well because I was always loading it one at a time, but obviously if I move this here now, it's on this barrel, and that is not going to fire. So while it is a fine blaster, I think that it does lose some points for definitely not being selective in its barrels, which means that while it's changing each time, which is very efficient for something that wants to emulate the Smart AR technology, it is not the same. So if you lose track of which barrel you're firing out of, and you can only load one, there's a 50-50 shot that you just don't do anything. And that's pretty unacceptable for something that needs to be reliable like a sidearm in war. I can't see anybody ever primarying the Baron, so I've been thinking about it strictly in that mindset, but not a Smart AR. Don't believe everything you hear on YouTube, kids. Except for this, because this is correct, obviously.